Good afternoon. It is September 15th. It's my birthday in 2 days, 44. 44, and I do enjoy celebrating a good birthday. Blowing out that pagan candle. I don't know. Okay, I'm kind of shaking right now because guess who just knocked on my door of my house? The Jehovah's Witnesses. I thought it was UPS, and I was in the middle of cooking. My dog is barking, like totally inconvenient. And I rushed to the door, and it's two very nicely dressed women with their iPads and watchtowers. And I was like, okay, the window of opportunity is slamming shut really, really fast. What can I even say? I mean, I didn't even have time to say a prayer. I didn't recognize the girl who was at my door, but I did recognize the older sister who was standing behind her. And we made eye contact, and I could just see her eyes go, whoa, whoops. And so I said, hi. And the young sister was going to start talking. I said, just give me a second. I got to put my dog in the house. And then the older sister interrupted the younger sister who was going to start talking and said, oh, we didn't know this was your address. And I said, it's okay. What's your message today? And I wasn't being combative. I really wanted to hear, what is the message of the day with the Jehovah's Witnesses? And I could tell that the younger sister was very confused. I had never seen her. She had never seen me. And, being cut off like that, I wanted to hear the message. And then the older sister kind of took over. And she's a very shy sister. I remember her. She's not like an elder's wife or anything like that. As far, I don't know her well, but my memories of her was she was always kind and very humble spirit, meek, and, but even the watchtower can corrupt people with naturally beautiful personalities, and turn them into their robots. Sorry, there's just so many thoughts I have in my head right now, and I want to start off by saying this video is in no way to shame Jehovah's Witnesses. I completely understand and realize that the rank and file members are programmed from a place of extreme fear. That's the place I lived most of my life from, and am still unpeeling the layers of fear from my life. The scars and the after effects from 36 years of indoctrination, as much as I would like them to just poof disappear, probably they're not all ever going to disappear until I die and am made completely new. And that's okay. 9/11 just happened here in this country, and you see this expression all the time, never forget. History unexamined is a history that will keep repeating itself. It's we're going to keep getting the same lessons until we actually learn. And for those of us who had to learn the hard way, i.e. being born and bred and raised in a high control religious cult, at the very least, I can help immunize the general public from, making the same mistake my parents made and my grandparents made. So back to the story. So she said, you know why we can't talk to you. And I said, I don't know why you can't talk to me. Do you know why you can't talk to me? And they were already physically backing away from the door, trying to make their exit. And I said, I would love for us to consider Matthew chapter 18 together. And she said, we're not talking to you. And I said, but why not? And she said, do you remember what Matthew 18 says? Go before the congregation. If your brother sins against you, go to them first. And if that doesn't, win your brother or sister over, then go with 2 or 3. Hello, their famous 2-witness rule. That is conveniently null and void if there's an accusation of apostasy. Then you're just poof, erased. And then if that doesn't work, go before the whole congregation. Nowhere in the Bible does it say drag the accused in a back room with 2 or 3 of your elected officials and make a decision behind closed doors, and everyone will just blindly follow the announcement. No, that's nowhere in the scriptures. That is not what Jesus said. So I said I kind of paraphrased Matthew 18 as she's stepping away, and then she reiterated, we trust the elders. That was the last words she said. We trust the elders. And yikes, considering, what's going on in the state of Pennsylvania with every elder being subpoenaed because of that. So I just want to quickly revisit one of my favorite scriptures, Acts 17, verse 11. And see if you can see anywhere in this verse and the verses surrounding it if the Bereans are being commended for just trusting the elders. It says, now the Berean Jews were of more noble character than those in Thessalonica, for they received the message with great eagerness and examined the scriptures every day to see if what Paul said was true. Paul, an elder, they didn't just take it with blind faith. I mean, nowhere in the scriptures are we told to just accept things blindly just because someone is in a position of authority. So that reminds me, there's a new-ish YouTube channel. My friend, CJ Salamundi, I'll link it below, but he was a local elder sort of in my area. Probably saw him in passing at circuit and district conventions, but he's making videos, and his perspective I think is really valuable, especially as someone who was an elder and played by the elders book until he no longer could. And he's doing like a 3-part series on apostasy. So I'm excited to finally introduce my friend to you all. But he didn't need my introduction. His videos are really getting great traction, and I'm happy that people just continue to share facts. That's all. It's not like my feelings. My feelings don't matter. It's facts. And there is an abundance of facts. JW Facts, Crisis of Conscience book, In Search of Christian Freedom book, facts, not feelings. There's something else I was going to share. Let me just pause this. There was another good video I just listened to while walking the other day. I think it's exjw Caleb, and the video, I don't remember the title, but it was something along the lines of, why doesn't the world pay more attention to like the Jehovah's Witnesses and cults? And I think I like to summary, because they're so boring. Even the Pillowgate video, he kind of replayed a section of that where I'm not even gonna like do an imitation of it because it's just so cringe. But yeah, just like those 2 ladies, they look so innocuous to the public with their bait and switch magazine articles that talk about things that are important, like mental health and does God care that they're suffering? Really great general questions. And it's not until you are attached to people on the inside and you've been injected with enough fear that you are paranoid that God is going to kill you, then it's never too late, obviously, but it gets hard then. And it's hard to explain it to the public. But honestly, it's kind of fun for me now when I just say like, yeah, I was in this cult for most of my life and now I'm not. And people are like, which one? And then you tell them, and then they have all these questions. And usually the questions are really normal, like, why don't your kingdom halls have windows and blah, blah, blah. So, but because the Jehovah's Witnesses are going door to door here and I want to help them get their time, I do. So one of my friends got a letter from a local Jehovah's Witness. I do know the person who sent this letter, but I'm not going to name the lady. Doesn't matter. But I thought I'd just share it with y'all because they are sharing this with the public, mailing it to people's homes without solicitation. And so I would like to share this. It is addressed, hello. my name is so-and-so. I am writing to encourage interest in the Bible. That's great. Oh, and as those two sisters were walking away, I mean, they were already to the sidewalk off my walkway. And I said, you know, I still love Jehovah. I love Jesus. And please read your Bible without Watchtower literature. And that was all. That's all I could even say without shouting and making the neighbors wonder what's going on. But, and that visit today, again, is such a reminder for me to pray for these people. Before I read this letter from the local Jehovah's Witness, I just want to read something out of my Alcoholics Anonymous book, day 65, yay. And that could be a whole other video. I'm really approaching the whole like 12-step program thing with great caution. That's a whole other side topic, but I just want you to know that I'm not like preaching anything here, but this perspective really helps me personally when it comes to getting caught up in that whole, like I'll get tripped up sometimes, triggered, whatever you want to call it, where I feel paralyzed with resentment towards Watchtower and, dare I say, victimized. And that's not an empowering place to live one's life from. I'm no longer in it. I have been freed. And just like people have made mention to this in other videos, that when the Emancipation Proclamation went out and the slaves were freed in the United States, it was what, like another, I'm horrible at history, 2 years until like the message trickled down to some of the southern plantations. So here, even though on a national level slavery had been abolished, there were still people being enslaved because they didn't even know they had been freed. I'm not quite sure why I made that segue just now, but yeah, I'm free of Watchtower, but sometimes the chains of all of that, and especially resentments, still control me. And I don't want to live my life that way. And I really appreciated this perspective. Because, you know, there's these 12 steps in AA and other programs. And step 4 is you make a personal inventory. Just like if you were a business owner and you make an inventory of everything you have in stock, and you want to leave room on the shelves for the good stuff and get rid of the expired stuff and the stuff that you can't sell and the stuff that's, you know, just taking up space and not serving you. And so likewise, they encourage you to take an inventory of your life, because it's those things, especially fear and resentment, that take up valuable head and heart space and control how you respond to things subconsciously. And before you know it, you're turning to something like, my case, alcohol, because you need to take the edge off, or you feel irritated, or you feel angry. And so it's a tool. And I have a lot of resentments towards Watchtower, and they don't serve me. And that's why, like Jesus' words, forgive them, Father. And when he tells us to pray for your enemies, like he's giving us the tools to live free, happy, joyful, peaceful, serene lives. It's just, you know, doing the work, and certainly asking God for help to do the work. But in regards to like this step 4 work of making a personal inventory, the book says this, we saw that these resentments must be mastered, but how? We could not wish them away any more than alcohol, or fill in the blank, whatever your, you know, problem is. This was our course. We realized that people who wronged us were perhaps spiritually sick. Though we did not like their symptoms and the way these disturbed us, they, like ourselves, were sick too. We asked God to help us show them the same tolerance, pity, and patience that we would cheerfully grant a sick friend. When a person offended, we said to ourselves, this is a sick man. How can I be helpful to him? God, save me from being angry. Thy will be done. And even when reading that, you know, the sentence, we ask God to help us show them the same tolerance, pity, and patience we would show a sick friend. It's hard to show that to someone who is literally shunning you, but we can do it in prayer. We can do it to the ones who aren't shunning us. You know, for example, if you're in another state or town where the Jehovah's Witnesses don't recognize you, show those Jehovah's, like, I just can't do it with the ones who know me here because they run away from me like I'm a leper, like I have rabies. And that's the fear. It's the fear illness. That's the sickness. So all I can do is pray. So I'm going to pray for those two sisters today. Prayer is powerful. So back to the letter, and then I'm going to let y'all go because I like to keep my videos short. I don't understand these people who make 2-hour videos, but there is something to be said for long form. Yeah. Okay. My name is so-and-so. I am writing to encourage interest in the Bible. Great. At Matthew 6, 9, and 10, Jesus tells us we should pray for, quote, God's kingdom to come, his will take place as in heaven, also on earth. Have you ever wondered what that kingdom really is and what it will do for the earth? The tract I have enclosed answers that question. I hope you can find the opportunity to read it. I encourage you to read the scriptures in your copy of the Bible. If you would like to learn more, please visit our free official website, jw.org. If you would like to talk to someone personally, please call 920-452-8467, and someone will be happy to return your call. So, I don't know, try it out, 920-452-8467. I hope you and your family are well. Sincerely, so-and-so. My friend Winston made such a good video the other day about shunning, and again it goes back to Matthew 18. I'll just close by reading this because this is what I wanted to share with the sisters. If your brother or sister sins, go and point out their fault just between the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won them over. But if they will not listen, take 1 or 2 others along, so that every matter may be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. If they still refuse to listen, tell it to the church, and if they refuse to listen even to the church, treat them as you would a pagan or a tax collector. The key point there that really sticks out to me now, and Winston really helped explain this, is treat them like a pagan or a tax collector. Okay, so I was announced no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses, like many of y'all watching this. So we're just to be treated like pagans and tax collectors, which means normal. I don't expect Jehovah's Witnesses to like have a book study in my house and sing songs of worship with me or even pray with me. But hello, how are you? Sorry your dad died last year. You know, like common, normal human things. But today, that is not what happens. And I have serenity and praying for courage and wisdom and kindness. Kindness towards those who are unkind to me because they do not know what they do. So I hope y'all are well. Call the number if you want. And be nice to them. If you do call, please, please, please be kind. Because they expect persecution. They have a very healthy persecution complex. Maybe just call and say, we love you. We love our friend Allie, and we love you. Hopefully they can also experience this thing I call amazing grace, that I did nothing I did earned it, undeserved, you know, as they say, undeserved kindness, but really it's amazing. So be well, shalom, take care, and I'm going to Italy and my country of heritage, Slovenia and England. So I'm looking forward to maybe meeting up with some friends and we can have a Pellegrino together. This is such a wild ride, this thing called life. And God loves us.